Yo, 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 no maniacs. What's good, man? Welcome to the show. This is Nomad Live, all Bears all the time, in conjunction with Sports Zone Chicago and the SuperBack. Shawn Sierra, man. Hey, let me get Keith. I didn't know he was here, man. You ready, Bishop?
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. Yes, sir.
All right, good. Let's get ready to go and do this thing, man. Hey, listen, man. Hey, you guys, I got a couple of announcements that I want to say out here out in the open right now. The first thing is we have a website that's probably about 24 to 48 hours away with merchandise on it, away from being published. But what we're going to do instead of publishing that, because it's done, I'm going to buy the first set of gear and kind of check for the quality of it before we sell it to you all. Make sure it's good stuff before we put it out there. But as soon as we do that, so if we I might do that tonight or tomorrow, just buy some gear and try to get it here as quick as I can. If I can, I'll get it here within 24 hours. But if not, might be 3 to 5 business days or something like that. But whenever it's ready, within the next, I'd say 5 to 7 days, we should have website up and gear for you guys to purchase, man. I think it's some nice looking stuff. It's Nomad Network gear. It's some other creative designs that we have. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. But also, something else is near and dear to my heart. We've been constantly talking about expanding the brand, the Nomad Network brand, and we were gonna have to always add more podcasts and do more things. So to start that off, and I really believe in this because we started this network off and with doing Bears content, and I absolutely love doing Bears content, and we're not gonna stop doing Bears content. As a matter of fact, we're gonna up the ante on that, but we need to add layers to what we do. And I thought a good way of doing that would be to create Nomad TV. And so what is Nomad TV? That's the name of the next show we're going to have coming out tonight. And so if I were you, I'd set my notifications for this one. Because if you like news, current events, hot topics, all of that kind of thing, I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. There'll be people that come and visit the show. Most of the time I'll do a lot of stuff by myself. I'll do pre-recorded content. I'll do live stuff. And tonight will be definitely will be a live show. I'll get to introduce myself to new viewers. I'll be called the No Face Podcaster. Everybody will know me as Nomad, but that'll be the new moniker for the next show. And I'm real proud of it. We've been spending a lot of time trying to get it together. Chris is working his butt off behind the scenes as we speak, trying to get that together. So again, man, it's a new show. I would caution you guys if you I'm not naive enough to think that it's going to be for everybody, but I do think people like their news and information and current events given to them in a raw way. It's not going to be CNN. It ain't going to be no damn MSNBC or no Fox News. It's going to be Nomad telling you exactly how I see it. And you get to see what kind of person I am outside of a former football player that does Bears podcasts. See how passionate I am about worldly events. It's going to be positive things that uplift people. It's going to be shows where we get to, some people might call messy topics. I'm not a messy person, but I will address it if it's something that's trending. You know what I mean? But I'm not one of those podcasters that feels like I need to find the muck and create some content for clicks. I'm not that type of guy. I'm positive. I'm an enlightened black man, and I'm going to speak to you guys in that way. It's going to be something in it for everybody. And so I just encourage you guys to hit your notification bell. And if you have not, subscribe to this channel, because the next thing I'm going to tell you right now is we're going to start doing subscribers only shows. It's not going to be every show, but from time to time, we're going to do subscriber only shows to get the subscriptions up. And also pretty soon, within the next week or so, we're going to add memberships to it. And so we can do exclusive contents for subscribers and members. And so just get your mind ready for that. And also, you guys, please, we're going to need money to do this stuff that we're doing. And I'm not going to come on here begging you guys for all your money, but it can definitely help us along the road that we're about to take right now. So any contributions will be welcome. And I appreciate you ahead of time. We love you guys. And we took a long time building this community, and I fight fiercely for it, man. I really appreciate you guys. I put my neck on the line, and I'll show you my teeth like I showed you Sunday. If I feel like somebody's coming in here to disrupt our community, man, I really appreciate you guys that much. And as a leader, I feel like it's necessary to fight for what you believe in. And I believe in the support that you guys give us, man. So thank you for that ahead of time. But let me shut up talking, Shawn, man. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing very well. Good CrossFit workout today, and my first show was good. Real good. I had Beth Mischler Elmore, who covers the Bears for Heavy.com and for BearReport.com, coming and talking Bears. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'm fired up and looking forward to talking more Bears today before the weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend here in the Chicagoland area. Degrees the rest of the way through. So, man, not much better. Beautiful sunshine, beautiful weather. You know what? Bears content. We have a whip of an all. I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up.
So before you go, kids, let me jump. Rick Leahy, he said he wants to put his hands on Puffy after seeing that. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight. And as a matter of fact, give you a little piece of my mind now before you come into the show. Hopefully you'll show up tonight, Rick, man. But I was brought up to revere women in a certain way. I came from a tribe of strong women, and I see women in a certain way, you know. And when I see stuff like that, you know, all the stuff that people were saying about this guy, you know, I tried to withhold judgment, and I had my antenna said that it was true. But when the video came out and I saw that, I was absolutely triggered, man. I was absolutely triggered. I said it on Twitter. I paid good money to get my hands on him, man. I empty my bank account just to get my hands on him, because that is sad, man. But that's what Nomad TV is going to be about tonight. We're definitely going to burn that up tonight. We're going to tear that the hell up tonight. So Rick Leahy, yeah, if you want to show up on that for that podcast, hit your notification bell. I think you will enjoy it. But my bad, kids. Go ahead.
Ricky Leahy in the building representing. I love it. Listen, I'm glad that the SuperBack is with us today and he's fired up, because I'm not fired up today. I'm exhausted. I'm just gonna tell the world that now, so like in case I'm a little bit low energy today, y'all know what's up. I did some physical labor yesterday and physical labor today, and I'm old as dirt apparently. So like we'll just kind of leave it. We'll just kind of leave it there. Old as dirt and out of shape. I got to get myself back into some kind of workout regimen. But you know, that being said, yeah, I saw the Puffy video too. I have all sorts of comments, and the little comment I'll give you on that front is just like, you know, there's cameras in buildings for reasons, and you know, things should be done in these situations. And then you just look at money, and yeah, so I'll kind of leave it there. Feel free to jump on Twitter, type in Diddy, and I'm sure you'll find what you need to find. Outside of that, I'll just give a little bit of love to the folks in the chat, yo. AC Adams with us, Cornelius Squalls representing, Joseph Archer, Junior's with us. Thanks for coming, Junior. Patty Laura's also here. Illinois Jones, Florida Bears fan, is representing hard. We did touch on a little bit of Ricky Leahy earlier on. Trapper Keeper. Our guy Plank said what's up to the sheep, Plank. Who else we got? FFG Styles holding it down. The two Jameses, James Ford, James Joseph. James Joseph was here super early representing. I got to give him a little bit of extra love for that. Black Rain, thanks for coming through, Black Rain. Geez, I think I just about exhausted all the humanity out there, but I'm sure there will be more trickling in as we go. Oh, my guy, Bruja in Canada. What it do, Bruja? Victor Tangent, Just Be, and Dobbsy34. Hope you guys are holding it down. Oh, and my man Crimson. That all being said, to my guy, the Bishop. How you doing, Bish? It's Friday.
And my guy, Dr. Earl here.
Oh, Dr. Earl. What it do, Dr. Earl?
You muted, Bish.
Oh, see?
I'm so doggone fired up. I forgot to clear the mute button. Anyway,
Okay.
TGIF. It is Friday. I'm fired up. Shawn got me fired up. I watched this show earlier today, and I am ready to go. It is Friday. We finna talk Bears football. I'm on the panel with my guys as always. We're gonna chop it up. But let me give my shout outs to those that I know are always watching the show and or listening. To my man Stuart and Sophie out in Florida. What it do? My man V-Dub out there in the D on that truck. Be safe, my brother. Oh, to my number one lady, Sharita, a.k.a. Rita, and my sister, Felicia, always chiming in and supporting their brother. I do appreciate it. More importantly, looky here. I'm with my guys. It's Friday. We finna talk Bears football. So you know how I gotta start it off? Chi-town, West Side, South Side. Stand up. Passing to you, Nomad. Let's get it going.
All right, man. So something happened Sunday night, man. I got sidetracked, and there was a guy that he asked me to display his buddy's wall art. He does Chicago Bears wall art, and he told me to check him out. I went and checked him out. I was just like, okay, that's some pretty nice stuff. So we're about to show you some pictures of his wall art. And I'm gonna apologize to him right now because I promised him we would do that Sunday, but I got sidetracked and forgot to do it. And hopefully we'll make this up to him right now, man. So hopefully we'll gain another supporter. We're gonna show us stuff right now. This is his wall art for Javon Dexter right here. Pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, some good imagery right there. Let's get to the next one. And by the way, this guy is Radio Graphics at 5 Robo Game on Twitter. So do us a favor, go over to Twitter, man. Give this guy a follow, man. He's a big time Bears guy, man, and he's one of us. So do us a favor. If you're on Twitter, you see it down there creeping on the bottom of the screen, man. Go over there and support Radio Graphics at 5 Robo Game on Twitter. Do us a favor and go give him a follow, man. He would probably appreciate that from you, no maniacs. But yeah, did we just skip one? Did you just skip one, Chris?
No, he threw up sweat.
No, I can run them back if you want.
Yes.
There's 5 different ones.
I love this one. Love this one, the Spidey. Love that one. Can you go back a couple? There you go. Javon. Okay, let's get to the sweat one. Who is this? That's wrong. Doing the claw. How'd he do that, man? Is he doing that in practice already?
They all doing it in practice. I don't know if you've seen that they're all lined up. All the rookies were lined up, giving it. I'm in. I like it.
Yeah, man. If you're on Twitter, go ahead and give Radio Graphics at 5 Robo Game a follow, man. It'd be nice for him to see him ask me to display his wall art and show it to you guys and see if you guys liked it. For those who liked it, and to turn and give him a follow on Twitter, I think he would really, really appreciate that, man. And he's another no maniac and probably doesn't know it yet, but yeah, appreciate that work, man. Thank you, Chris, for putting that up. But hey, man, let's get into what we came here for. And so as everybody probably knows by now, Shawn, Tevin Jenkins gave an interview to forget the guy's name.
Mark Brody.
Mark Rody
and Wiederer too.
Rody and Wiederer, right?
Yep.
And they were able to ask him some questions, man. And I've been curious about some things about Tevin Jenkins and where everything is with him, post Justin, contract wise. And I think he answered a bunch of questions, man, and that I was curious about. But I'll start off with one with you, Shawn, man. Let me look. Hold on, I just lost my way, man. Okay, so basically, I was curious mostly, Shawn, about his contract status. And how about this, Shawn? Do you think we'll just start off with an easy one? Do you think Poles is in any position to even consider trading Tevin Jenkins at this point?
No. Mm-mm.
You don't think we have enough depth to, if someone called for Tevin Jenkins?
No. Nope. And it's not about depth. There's a way you can do things, okay. But the way that Ryan Poles, okay, is building this offensive line. All right, he's building with nasty dudes. All right, Nate Davis came over. He's pretty nasty. Drafted Darnell Wright. He's pretty nasty. He had Tevin Jenkins here. He's really nasty. All right, you're not going to trade away a guy like that who, for all intents and purposes, has been the heart and soul of this offensive line. And granted, he's been injured. Okay, there's no going around it, no sugarcoating it. Okay, but the fact of the matter is when he plays, that dude's probably the best offensive lineman, I would say, between him and Darnell Wright. Okay, this dude is it's what you want as an offensive as an offensive line coach, as a running back, that's the kind of guy you want to run behind. As a quarterback, is the kind of guy you want to, stand in the pocket behind. So, no, I don't think he's in any way, shape, or form thinking about trading Tevin Jenkins at all. At all. At all. I don't know if I said that. At all.
You said I'm a vehemently disagree with it. Like I agree with everything you said except for the end result. I think we have just enough depth that whether it's Tevin or somebody else on that O-line, somebody could be flipped to get that for that power move if Ryan Poles decides to make a power move. I have especially after looking at this schedule, y'all. After looking at this schedule, I'm under the impression that this team may just hit the ground running, which is crazy to say. Like, that's almost never happened. But if they hit the ground running and make a viable impression in the first 7 games, between the beginning and the bye week, there may be reason for him to go and get that pass rusher on the other side and just dominate from there on and go to the Super Bowl. That's my thoughts. So somebody might be there may be a requirement for somebody to be traded, whether that's Khalil Herbert or Tevin Jenkins or Nate Davis. There's a couple of guys there that could be moved, but I have to say Tevin would be one of those guys. Now let me flip it. He plays 15 games. He's here all year, and he's extended. Bishop.
Pass me what you smoking.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's free. It's legal in Canada.
Man, hey, send it to me, brother. Send it to me. Look, man, I'm with Shawn.
Hey, man, the U.S. Customs may come back and get me though. I'm not.
I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. It won't be no problem. But okay. Shawn, I gotta agree with you, brother. And I say that because of this. Until proven otherwise, he's probably the nastiest of our offensive linemen. Proven. So with a guy like that can help set the culture for your offensive line. No, man. No, he still has youth on his side. I understand. Yeah, he's had a few injuries, but I do believe that this young man, and the reason why he was even involved during the offseason to go and sit down and meet Caleb is because I think that's what Ryan Poles thinks of him. Also,
that's a great point. That's a phenomenal point.
Also, to give him added incentive to invest in his body.
What did you just say, Key?
I believe because he was involved in meeting with Caleb.
I was hoping you wouldn't go there. This was the next point, man. Shit. But go ahead.
So I believe because of that, that lets you know pretty much what Ryan Poles thinks of him with regard to the leadership on that offensive line. And
he's one of the cool kids.
Yeah,
I agree with that too. Yes.
When you're trying to actually set a culture and an identity, what better guy, man, than Tevin Jenkins, bro? And the fact that he even stepped forward and said, "Hey, look, I realize now what it really takes to be a pro, so I'm investing more money into my body so that I can play long term."
Just hold on, Key, because you're gonna take all the piss and vinegar I got for the topic, man. Stay on task. Stay on task for me. Just answer: do you think he's in a position? Do you think he's in a position?
One word, no.
All right.
Yes.
I had to stop you, man, because you was gonna take your ass to church, man. I was just like, oh man, you gonna mess up half.
That's why they call me the bishop, baby. Man. But go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
Yeah.
My bad, bro. My bad.
That was the next.
Fired up.
I see that, man. That was the next part, man. Because
blame it on Shawn.
I'll answer my own question right quick, man. Because I think you see, I'm like you guys mostly. I feel like he's really in no position. But here's what I know could change everything. Somebody might become available. Like I heard rumors about Dalton Reisner, maybe being somebody they may be looking at. This is a rumor. What could happen post training camp? Things can happen between now and what we're thinking right now is the move for Ryan Poles. Do I want to see him keep Tevin Jenkins? Yes. Is it important that you got a personality type that kind of leads that offense? Hold on, Keith. I'm gonna get to you. Is it important that you have a certain personality type to lead that offensive line room? Yes. But there you have to be realistic and open-minded. What happened the last time we thought Poles wouldn't do something? He damn did something, right? And so do I want to see them trade Tevin Jenkins? Hell no. But the truth is between now and the end of training camp, a lot of things can happen. However,
extend that out to game 7. Extend that out to
that ain't happening.
to the trade deadline.
Hold on, player. I'm about to feed you guys just the whole conversation about it was important. The thought that he called Tevin Jenkins and wanted him to be in Caleb's at that dinner with Caleb as one of the core pieces of what they're building over here. I thought that was significant, Shawn, and so I just wanted to get your take on that.
Of course it was. You're one of the cool kids. If you don't care about someone's opinion, you're not bringing him to that dinner. End of story. All right. That was the people that you wanted to see if they could blend and mesh with Caleb. All right. That was basically all. Like, hey, everybody, he's in. We're gonna see how if like Tevin said, if he fits the culture, if he's one of those dudes. And Tevin has put his earned his stripes on this team. Okay, so the only people there are the people that whose opinion Ryan Poles really values. Okay, so he's one of the cool kids, and so yeah, it tells you a lot about him. I don't know about a long-term deal. If he stays healthy, if they get to week 12 and he's played every game, then I think him and his agent are going to start, really talking 3 or 4 year deal. All right. But him being there, all right, there's only a few people they invited. The only few people they called and asked. All right, and those are the people, that's the core. All right, you talk, we played football, Nomad, you have too. When there's a core of people on teams, a lot of fringe players, a majority of fringe, but there's a core. And you care about that core. How they feel, their thoughts about a particular person, especially bringing them into that extremely important position. Okay, extremely important. Does that core, do they bond with him? Do they vibe with him? And that says a lot. That says a lot.
So I'm a step away from the cool kids angle. Like I hear what you're saying. I think Tevin might have been one of the people who would have been the most affected by them trading Justin. I'll be honest about that. And
hold that thought too. That was another subject.
I knew you were going to stop me. Like I probably didn't even say it. I'll just go with yes and no answers until we get through this thing.
I mean, all we're talking about is what did you think of Ryan Poles putting him there as a core piece? Did that lead you into his way of thinking of what he thinks about Tevin Jenkins?
Well, Tevin is definitely a core piece to this offensive line, and it may even be the leader of the offensive line, guys. Like, don't get me wrong. There's other factors here, and the factor I just brought up is key. He needed to bring that kid. He needed to bring Tevin to that initial meeting so he could get acclimated to the guy he's going to be protecting with more or less his career, right? That guy used to be a different guy, and he was drafted alongside him and protected him and pushed Jamokes, as the SuperBack would say, into the front row. That's basically what Tevin Jenkins has been doing for Justin Fields. He needs to have those types of feelings and provide that same level of protection for a totally separate guy. So they need to be on the same page. It was very important that he was there. And I'll say probably more important that Tevin was there than a lot of the other people outside of the wide receiver core or guys who are going to catch balls directly from Caleb Williams. All that being said, I'm glad they brought him. I also respect the fact that he is a Ryan Pace draft pick. Bishop.
Let me try to keep this as short and sweet as possible. Yes, I think it meant a lot for the fact that Tevin Jenkins is a core member of the team, the locker room, that offensive line. More importantly, when we talk about, and everybody keeps talking about longevity, injuries, I'm gonna say 2 words: Trent Williams. One of the highest paid, if not the highest paid offensive lineman, has not played a full season since 2014. So let's keep it real, bro. I mean, it happens. But when you talk about somebody that is your anchor, somebody that is the attitude on that line, you don't just sacrifice it. And please don't tell me, oh, well, we can possibly get an edge rusher. If we didn't do it before now, guess what? We can wait till next year's draft. Work with what we got. But we not, you all been hollering about depth on the offensive line. All of a sudden now, is he potentially expendable? No. We're not going there. Go ahead, Nomad.
Well, the truth is, Bishop, man, much as passionate as you were about that, anything can happen, bro. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. And so whatever we think, it is, I'm gonna answer my question. It is significant in my mind, the fact that he was there at that dinner. That tells me that Poles wants this guy to be here long term, and he wants that guy to, and it really is basically what do you call that when you get a little raise and you get a little promotion, because he's now going to become like the leader in that locker room now. And so I think Poles I think that was if you were to ask me, I think that was like kind of hey, let me show Tevin Jenkins what we really think of him. And he's going into his contract year. Let me put him in this room and show him that he's important to what we're doing, and we want him on this team long term. Not going to bring the contract talk to the table just yet. And that's the next part of the conversation. The fact that, I think that it's always been intriguing this whole offseason. The fact that he hasn't, in the interview, he clearly said that no, that hasn't been brought to the table, talking about a contract. And, we all thought that the idea would be going into this season that, if I were Ryan Poles, I think smart money says you want to wait and see if this guy can produce and stay healthy, right? We know he can produce, right? But you want to see if he can play an extended period and raise himself to a Pro Bowl level. And see, I think, Shawn, now I'm gonna see what you think of this, man. But I think that's particularly troublesome. If I were Ryan Poles, I would probably try to get something done now, because you saw what happened with Jalen Johnson, right? You saw what happened. He ended up having to pay out the wazoo for Jalen Johnson, and he could have got something done in the offseason. And so what do you think about that thought, Shawn?
Put it this way, that's a gamble that he's willing to take, because the salary cap is going up so high and so much next year. All right, if it wasn't going up as much as it is, I don't know if he'd be willing to do that. But I see him being it does make business sense. Like, okay, this guy's good. If I want him, sure, do it now. But I think he may say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna wait and see, because he's got the flexibility of a big cap increase next year. But it would behoove him to do something now. I mean, you want to give him 3 years? Okay. I think 3 years is a good deal. All right. 3 years is a good deal. And the best you can do, front load it. Here's the thing. 3 years for front load the contract. Maybe in your last, if it doesn't work after 2 years, you're cut. And all the guaranteed money and all the other stuff is gone and paid out. You know what I mean? So it would behoove him to get it done, but I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past Ryan Poles to say, hey, you know what? Let me just wait and see. But I see what tree you're barking up. I believe me. I see it. I see it. But I agree. I think it would be best served to do it now. But is he a gambling man? We'll see.
Oh, well, he's definitely a gambling man. That much I think we could all agree on. I like that craps table. I think Ryan Poles and me would have a great time at the casino. In any event, I don't like. I hear where you're coming from, Nomad. It would be an interesting thought to extend him now, but I worry that might also in turn alienate Nate Davis, right? Because he's the guy who's in the position with the pay, with the contract. If you then sort of elevate the guy who's technically alongside or behind him to in front of him, is he going to play to get an extension? Is he going to play to the tune of his contract? I don't know.
He's got a lot to play for, though, Kedz. I mean, because of his personal situation last year, as tragic as it was, his mom passing away, and he had to be there, and we understand that. All right, but I personally, don't you think he feels? And obviously I don't know because I don't talk with him. But don't you think he feels he's got to live up to that contract now? Don't you think he's behind the 8 ball? Like, man, they gave me all this money and I was missing a lot. I know it's my mom and they know it's my mom. But man, I'm as a man, I haven't earned this $30 million, contract that they signed me to.
So I agree with everything you're saying. That's really where my headspace is. But then the other guy just got paid. So I'm vying for the extension of my contract too this season. And the other guy, they decided to pay the young guy instead. Am I really in a position to bump this guy out at all?
I don't know.
And the answer to that to me is, I'll explain. The answer to that is no. I think one of those two guys gets flushed out of the offensive line come 2025. Whether it's Nate Davis, who's already been paid and is looking for an extension, or it's Teven Jenkins. I think very likely and hopefully they extend Teven as opposed to trading anybody, and maybe potentially trade Nate Davis to get that edge rusher. That's what I'm hoping happens. If you pay Teven now, it might alienate Nate. Nate might say, hey, you know what? I'm not in the place where I'm going to get that contract extension from the Bears.
Well, hold that thought, gentlemen. I know everybody wants to respond to that, but let me acknowledge one of our supporters, James Joseph, whose dad passed away, man. Hey, James, bro. I don't think anybody can say a certain word to you or words to you to help heal you from something like that, man. All I can do is send you good vibes for you and your family, man. Good vibration, positive spirit, and hope for speedy healing, man. So, hey, shout out to James Joseph.
Yeah, as somebody who's lost both his parents, James, that's not easy, dude. The only thing that made it a little bit easier to manage was the fact that we had an absolute barn burner smash of a send-off for him. All of his friends were there, lots of stories, lots of food, lots of fun, lots of alcohol. But it really helped. It really helped process the whole thing for me. Just seeing how much love and joy there was on this planet, in and around my father's. Hopefully, similar things. Hopefully similar things for you, my friend. So blessings to you and your family, Doc. James.
But go ahead. Anybody?
So much for Tevin Jenkins.
Go ahead, Keith. You want to touch that?
But first, my condolences and prayers go out to you, James. There's not much I can say, brother, other than lean on the Lord, man. Lean on the Lord. With that being said, back to the topic. I hear you what you're trying to lay down, Kedz, with regard to Nate Davis, but I'm gonna say this, man. With Teven Jenkins, he's one of our own. He was drafted here. Nate Davis came. Yeah, regardless by who.
You got to remember that.
I get all that, but hey, look, Nate Davis, even once he came back.
Cole Kmet wasn't drafted by him.
That's true too. You got to remember that.
And neither was Jalen Johnson. This is also true.
Right. But I say that to say this, man. I understand what Nate Davis went through last season. But once he returned, he didn't look like someone that should have gotten that bag that he received. That's just me. Now, hopefully we see something different this season. But I think right now you have a little leverage on Tevin. So if you did go into, and before the season started, extended him, you could probably get him on a pretty friendly deal that he would be happy with, because it's still an upgrade and raise for him. But you can still be able to get him at a decent price to where now, for nothing else, that left side of your line is taken care of. At least as far as with your guard. You still got to deal with, we still got to see what we get at as far as with tackle. But I think we're okay. I think we're okay with Braxton for this season. And he's got some competition now. So we're going to see how that shakes out on that left tackle. But if I was posed, if I can get Tevin on a really solid deal that's front loaded and friendly, I wouldn't extend him beyond 3 years. I would top it at 3, front loaded, to where if for whatever reason within 2 years, if it ain't working out, then we can move on. but I think Tevin deserves to be around.
You know, and let's not forget, and here's the thing. All right, he just had a baby. Okay. He just got a baby. So you got to talk to mom
to play for.
You got to talk to mom about that one. And if they offer a deal, obviously she's not in the negotiating room, but he's going to have that discussion with her. And she's going to be like, look, if they're going to offer you whatever, 6 mil, 8 mil, 10 mil guaranteed, you know, I think we should take it. I mean, that's, you know, and I know he's playing. I know it's his body, but also you got to run that by mama too. And you got a baby, a brand spanking new baby that you January 1st, she was born. She's a New Year's Day baby. She's 6 months old. So we're about to be 6 months old. So that's got to be taken into consideration. So when you throw in a big lump sum of money now, could be bigger later, but a big lump sum of money now, you may say, hey, let me grab this. Maybe I don't get 50 mil. Maybe I only get 27 mil. Can we live off of 27 mil? I don't know.
You know what, Shawn? Yeah. And to add to that, Shawn, being a girl dad, when you have a daughter, having sons make you a man. But when you become a father to a daughter, it changes your entire life. I think we're going to see a completely different Tevin Jenkins. And I say that again based off of what he said about what he's investing in himself for longevity. When you have a girl, man, it shifts your entire mindset, man. I just think I think we're going to get the absolute best from this kid moving forward.
So real quick, man, before I gotta turn this call a little bit, man, because we 38 minutes into it, and we still talking about Tevin. I still got a couple more things to say, because you know, one part about it that was particular for me was you know, him and the bond he had with Justin, and he spoke to it. And what he said, they asked him a particular question, you know, how did that hit you? Where did you find out about it? You know, what do you think about it all? And you can tell, you know, he didn't outwardly say these words, but you can tell that hurt him, you know, because he was brought here, you know, and through his words to protect Justin. They came in the same draft class together. They were building this thing to, you know, he was going to be that they brought him here to be a left tackle. You know, and that's another part of the conversation we'll get to right after this is, you know, his position at guard and how he feels about that. But you can hear it in his voice, man, that, you know, he was, you know, they were bracing, you know, the front office was bracing for the possibility that this wouldn't go over well in the locker room. And I believe Teven Jenkins was one of those people that they knew was tight with Justin. So apparently Flus gave him the call. He received it. You know, I mean, they had a talk about the whole thing, but you can tell that this dude is really a Justin Fields fan. He believed in him, like the locker room believed in him, and you can tell it hurt him. But you can also tell at the same time that he knows that this is a business, and these are the decisions that they have to make. And he's turned the page, and he's preparing himself for what he has to do now moving forward with the quarterback that they have. But I can sense the emotion in him, Shawn, and it was real for him. And so you just respond to that, if you will.
Yeah, he was, you know, and he said he's always going to be a Justin Fields fan. He hopes he kills it out in Pittsburgh. And you know what? And yeah, and you and I both know, Nomad, when you build the bonds you build, you know, not just on the field, because that's 60 minutes. We're talking in the locker room. We're talking, you know, hanging out. We're talking doing stupid stuff at practice. You know what I mean? Like that's where you build those bonds with your brothers that you become friends for life with. And, you know, you brought this guy in, and Tevin is a protector. All right. You know, he has that mentality, and he said it. I was brought here to protect him, you know, so it did hit him. It hit him. But also the realization was it is a business, you know, and he said it. He goes, it took me a minute. He goes, it hit him. He said it in the interview. So, but I understand it's a business. And so I feel for him, you know, because whenever your friends, someone you care about, it's not like Justin's dead. You know what I mean? He's not dead, but whenever they weren't able to do what they were both brought here to do. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Tevin got going through his head, well, was part of it my fault because I didn't give Justin time, or you know what I mean? Like it's just interesting. you know, you can feel the bond and the love and the care that he has for Justin. So yeah, it hit him like a sledgehammer to the chest, man. It did, and he had to regroup and say, hey, unfortunately, that's the nature of this beast. Kedz?
Such is life, right? That's how it goes in the NFL. Not for long, as they say, not for long. You know, I felt for him, and he did a great job. He did a great job of kind of letting the world know how he felt about the situation without letting the world know how he felt about the situation, right? He didn't really say too much about it. Did say that he wished Justin well. Spoke to him a couple of times as that moved forward. The fact to me is just that now, you know, I think Tevin's really in a position to I think this should light a fire under Tevin. The daughter case scenario that we just touched on. The quarterback is gone. Now you have a new quarterback who may be able to do things a little bit differently, if not potentially better. All of those things, including, you know, injury specifically being his major issue, not play on the field. It's just the fact that he's not on the field quite frequently, as frequently as some would like. I think we're going to see the best Teven Jenkins period this season. And if we do, that bodes very well for this team. He's a monster on that line. And like, without Cody White here, the question remains, like, who's the leader of that, you know, in that room of that line? And I think it might be Teven Jenkins. And I think we're going to see evidence of that this season. Bishop.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with both you guys. So, you know, we're just gonna keep moving on because I know we behind time on things. So go ahead, Nomad.
No, you can answer that if you want to talk about it if you want.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. My thing about it is the motivational piece, man. For my money, if I were Poles, I'm gonna try to get something done with him before we get into this, because I think you can. It's not like a play. He's not a particular guy like he will have those box stat scores that, you know, like a Jalen Johnson had, get an extraordinary amount of interceptions and, you know, turnovers and that's like that. You know what I mean? That's going to make him say, okay, now my value is going up. His value is going to go up in consistency, right? It's going to be consistency that gets him the money, and being out away from the training room, out of the ice baths, and on the field producing week after week after week after week, and then seeing, you know, is he executing this thing the way they want him to? Can you see the tangible benefits from him being a cog in that line? You know what I mean? Those are going to be the things. He's going to get a couple pancakes in there, of course. You know, that comes with Teven Jenkins. But, you know, it's the tangible stuff is going to be for Ryan Poles and Teven Jenkins to get something done. It's going to be consistency. Personally, I'm telling you, I'll say this again. If it were me, I'm going to try to get something done. I do believe in the kid. You know, I'm going to try to get something done before we even get going so that it's a little cheaper for me later on down the line. If, you know, but who knows what Ryan Poles has in mind. But I think, Shawn, that emotional part got to me, man. But another thing that I heard him say was, you know, he's spending a lot more money on his body and the kind of stuff that, you know, we had a dope trainer, man, when I was in college, and he helped me understand some things about the human body, the structure of us molecularly, and taught me to be paying close attention to what you put in it, because your performance is based on what you eat. You know what I mean? And how much emphasis you give to your body. And him saying that told me a lot, man. And somebody got to him in the this off season, and said to him, you know what, man, you want to stay out of the trainer's room, you're going to have to eat different. You're going to have to train different. You're going to have to do different things. And, you know, the really good players in this league, I've heard of players, there's James, what was the cat number 92 at Pittsburgh, the defensive end? I forget his last name.
Oh, James Harrison.
James Harrison every year put $1 million into his body.
Oh, he's a monster.
And it showed on the field. He was consistent and he got the damn job done. And so if I was training a NFL player right now, I'd tell him, man, change your diet, watch what you put in it, and you'll get better results. You'll be more consistent at what you're doing. And so I really appreciated hearing that. That told me that his antennas are up, Shawn, and he's ready to do what it takes to make sure that he's available.
Well, they spoke to him about it. You know what I mean? And other players spoke to him about it. He's not, you know what I mean? It's not like because he plays for the Bears, he has no contact with other people. All right. This is it. You know, this is your profession. And everything that you do has to be geared toward your profession. Okay. Because this is what pays the bills. This is, you know, dancing who brung you. So whatever makes that person happy, whatever make your job easier or benefits your job, you do. Okay, and that means stop the burgers, stop the pizza, stop the tacos, stop all that stuff, and you gotta change your diet. Yeah, there's a cheat day. You can act crazy on your cheat day. Okay, but for the most part, you got to be strict in your diet. And this is not something. Trust me, as an offensive lineman, I can guarantee you they told him that in college, all right? Because we had it back in college, and that was back in 89, 90, 91, 92, my football seasons. All right, so if we had it at Division One AA. Talk and having a nutritionist and our coaches talk to us about what we eat and what we put in our body and how it benefits us. I damn sure guarantee that they talk about it at all the Power 5 schools. So he just might have grown up. You know, you remember you're 21, 22, 23, man. You're young. You're invincible. Nothing can destroy you. But I think him getting older, him getting married, him having a daughter, and he's like, damn. I want to make as much money as possible. I need to stay healthy. One of the best ways to do that is to make sure that I put the proper fuel in my body so I can play. I think he just grew up, man. I think he's just grown up. I think it's come to a head with a lot of good things. Again, marriage, parenthood, it all came up. Contract, end of your contract, all that came together at the right time. You got to sit down and think about it, and I think he did. Whether it was a conversation with the missus or it was a conversation with other NFL players who were in his exact same situation in years prior, whatever it was, his demeanor, he seems different. And I don't mean that in a bad way. He seems more grown up.
Like a leader?
You know, like a leader, but he seems more mature. And not saying he was immature, he's just more mature now. And I don't know, because I don't have any kids that I know of. But man, from what my friend said, when that first kid, when that first kid popped out, said change their life forever.
Hey, Shawn, I got to tell you what my trainer told me, man. At first, when he said these words, I got to close my window, guys. Hold on. When he said these words to me, you know, at the time he was talking stock market stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff that a 18-year-old kid don't know jack shit about, man. You know. And he was talking stock market. This is our trainer. He was like, man, he had us in the room. He had the DB group. What is your number one asset? He's got stock market stuff up on the grease board and everything. Everybody's looking around. He's like, you dummies. You're your number one asset, in particular, your bodies. It's the best thing you got going for you. You ever want to make a whole lot of money, take care of it. And that was gold after a season with that guy, man. I just remembered that. I never forgot that, to be honest with you. If you want to enjoy life, if you want to be healthy and happy for a long time, and if you become a wealthy person, if you ain't healthy, you ain't going to enjoy it. And so the same thing goes for Tevin Jenkins, man. You just got to put more emphasis on your body and make sure you take care of it. But I digress.
I hope he was, in addition to that, I hope not just doing that, but I also hope that he's in his flexibility, because that's important. You know, I hope it becomes very flexible. Like one of the things, yoga, I think is great. Yoga and Pilates is phenomenal for offensive linemen, all right, because of the fact that there's so many times you get bent over in a pile, pause. But, your knee goes the wrong way, or they sometimes defensive linemen are just jerks, and they'll shove you over a pile with your knee planted, with your leg planted, all right? And I'm not saying that it's going to help always, but if you're more flexible, you have a lot greater chance to avoid serious injury, okay, than if you're not. All that muscle's great, but if your tendons and ligaments aren't flexible, man. So hopefully, in addition to the stuff he's putting into his body, I also hope that he's doing things, like I said, like yoga, and trying to make him a lot more flexible.
Yeah, You said mature. I said leader. The other word I'm going to use here is aware. As we're going, as I went through, this interview with him, Tevin did sort of mention that he is on social media. He may not be active posting, but he is on there and he's paying attention. And he was aware of what what was being said about Caleb and about Justin, as well as very likely he's likely aware of what's being said about him. And there's only one thing to say about Tevin Jenkins. It's not that he, doesn't have enough weight in the lower portion or enough strength, or like the kid's Pro Bowl caliber. And I think we can all agree with that. The only one single thing that can be said about Tevin Jenkins and his play as a Chicago Bear offensive guard is that unfortunately he gets injured. Big guys get injured all the time. It's just the reality of the position. Like it is the reality of the position. So I think he's taken that into account and he's now sort of looking at it going, what can I do to avoid injury this season when it really, really counts? And I'm going to actually make that and take that into practice. And he started talking about it, started talking about going to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and, different things that he's actually eaten and how he plans to change what's going into his body. Is I would likely assume that he's also likely changing how he trains too. I think all of the above, just like Shawn's saying, Pilates, yoga, maybe even martial arts. Any of those things would definitely help Tevin Jenkins. The reality here is, I think he's more aware, more mature, and is stepping into a more of a leadership role on that offensive line. And I think that's really what this is all about. I think Poles sees that and is giving him the opportunity to step into that role. Keith?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I think it goes back to a word that I ended the show with on Wednesday, which is consistency. And I think that he's realizing now that, that's primarily one of the key factors that's going to help him get to that next level, and the fact that this is his contract year, and he's aware of that. And he said he wants to be a Bear long term. So when you factor in all these different factors, and the fact that, again, like I said, he's a father of a young girl, and Shawn said it best, with potential contract conversations to come in the future. You just got to factor everything in, and his body is what's going to help him get everything that he needs and that his family needs and wants. So, I just believe that going when he mentioned that he's eating organic foods and really put emphasis on that, that told me right there that something outside of somebody talking to him, a switch went off, and it's like, okay, I now
Yeah.
know what it takes to be a pro, because he said, no more getting up 30 minutes before I got to be, at the facility and rushing into the facility. And so what that really says is he was relying on talent, and now he realizes it takes way more than talent. So it's the investment into his body.
That's really well said, because I remember him coming in and they were sort of talking about his, I guess he would get into funks, and they're like, bro, like if you're not in a funk, you're the best thing on this team. You're going to the NFL and you may be Pro Bowl, potential down the road, but you have to, put in the work.
Yeah.
And clearly he's been in the NFL. Clearly he's been putting in work, but I think you hit it, man. I think a switch has been hit and he's now ready to work, y'all. And it's funny how that's, oh man.
No,
on it now. Before I do, go ahead.
I got something to add to that, man, because
yeah, man.
And being that age, I know what it feels like, man. You think you're invincible, man.
Yeah.
And I played like a sub superhuman, but I ate like a super rat. You know what I mean? I ate crap. I mean straight crap every single day. And when my and I didn't really get injured, so that never really became an issue. But when I learned, when you learn and you grow, and to me, Tevin Jenkins is, shouldn't have took him this long, but we're here now. You know what I mean? At that age, you just these bad habits are hard to break. He's maturing as a man, just became a father, all that stuff, man. and you just eat whatever's there. You know what I mean? But knowing that, that change, that subtle change in what you do in your lifestyle could potentially earn you several millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, is an eye opener. You know what I mean? It's a straight up eye opener. And when my trainer pointed it out to me, he's like, you want to make big money, the next level is all about being available, man. It's all about being available. If you can keep yourself healthy and be available, you're gonna make you some good money, man. And so that was the trigger for me, man. It made me a different person. I went about my life different. And this is at 18 years old. I started doing everything different from that day. Tevin's what, like 24, 25 years old now? Maybe 20. I don't know. But, whatever age he is, I'm just glad he's gotten it while he's still at that age, in that age frame. And so I look for big things, man. If he stays true to the stuff he was describing in that interview, man, I think we might be looking at something real good here.
26. He just turned 26 March 3rd.
I think he is primed for a breakout year, man, where this may be his Pro Bowl year. I think this kid is just gonna really, I think he's gonna really do some things, man. And I'm just thankful, man, that that switch has gone off, man. And I like Tevin Jenkins, and I want to see him do well this year.
Right there with all of that, man.
All right, man. Well, how about this, man? Because I had we were going to do a whole show about some of the other some of the defensive edge rushers that are available, and it's a lot of talk starting to heat up because you're right there at that point of right before training camp when guys start getting signed. You know what I mean? So we had a few guys that we were going to talk about, but we'll save that for another show. But let's get ready to give out some pleasantries before we get out of here, Shawn.
Man, sports owners and Maniacs Unite. Man, good show. I'm excited. Man, we did talk about a lot. And, make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel. I appreciate it. The subs are still going up. I truly appreciate it. And, man, I'm excited. The more and more as the days draw closer, as next to the veterans coming in, and then voluntary OTAs, and then mini camp starts, and then they break, and then they have training camp. And man, I'm fired up. I bought my ticket Wednesday for San Francisco, so I'll be at the San Francisco game as well, in addition to all the home games that be credentialed. I'm looking to go to another couple games, so I'm really this season definitely driving down to Indy. It's only a couple hour trip down to Indy, and get a flight down to Houston, get a flight down to Arizona, and I'll be good. And a flight to London. So there's a lot. There's a lot coming forward. I'm anxious to see this. Glad to talk Bears with my guys, with the Canuck, with the Bishop, with Nomad, the guys in the back. Excuse me, Chris and Brian. Man, it's just good. I'm about to enjoy this weekend, and I don't even think I'm gonna do a whole bunch. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of anything. Just get out there. I'll probably lay out. I'm light skinned, so I can get dark. So I'm gonna probably lay out for.
Also can get melanoma. You better be careful.
I'll be good, man. I got plenty of SPF, dog. I'm good. I'm good. So, yeah, you guys have a great weekend. Again, thank you for the love and the support for me and my network.
You ain't that light, man. You like me. You ain't that light. Don't worry about that. No.
Awesome light, man.
Man, don't even try it. Don't even try.
Don't hate. We got the nice eyes. Hey, anyway, guys, you have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Kedz?
Yeah. Never used sunscreen in my life, so there's that. I'll just put that out there. Maybe I should.
No.
I'm just saying never. I'm not sure what the point is. Go figure. It was funny because somebody asked me about it yesterday since you brought it up, and I was like, really? But I'm black people. Anyhow, so that's my 2 cents. The funniest thing is I remember I was like 13, and my auntie was like, oh, and she lives in Florida, and she had some sunscreen, and she's putting it on.
Burned too, Mark. Don't act crazy.
What are you doing right now? Is that cocoa butter? She's like, no, it's sunscreen. You want some sunscreen? I was like, but you're black people. And that was the end of the conversation. To this day, I have no confirmation on whether this should be used or shouldn't be used for black people. Black people use it if it will save your life. Use it. Don't listen to me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking Oh snap, man! I'm not trying to promote skin cancer out there for folks. So like, use the sunscreen, y'all. Use the sunscreen. Anyhow, Jose Sanchez from Puerto Rico is with us today.
Oh,
Come on, Kedz.
Well, there we go. I will live with that one. Hey, man, we got all sorts of folks in the chat loving the show. Something I didn't really realize is James Harrison was an undrafted free agent to this league.
Boom.
You brought him up. I wanted to touch on that a little bit earlier when you brought him up, but that's crazy. That really goes to show how hard, bloody work. Because that man, all he does is work, right? He's in the gym. He's doing it, pushing weight all day long. Yeah, to this day, I know he's in the gym right now while we're on this show. I can almost guarantee it. But monster of a man, UFDA, and then we stop and we look at some of the UFDAs coming in, or these fifth rounders, whatever. There's always a chance, man. You put in that work. Tevin Jenkins, always a chance. Put in that work, and I can see, I can see him excelling as well. So I think that's the type of season we're going to have from Tevin. Even though I do think there's an edge rusher coming. I don't know by hook or by crook how it comes, but I think there is one coming. Anyhow, y'all, I'm so stoked for the season. I like it's taking forever. You know what I mean? It's taking so long.
Yeah, man.
We're almost there. We're getting there. When we get there, I'm ready, man. I am ready for the quarterback. I'm ready for what the offensive line looks. I think the offensive line just needed maybe 1 or 2 seconds, right? That's really, to me, the difference. 1 or 2 seconds under which the ball's out of his hands. And if that helps things out, I think we may see a really awesome offense along with all the the cast and crew that Pulse has put together. I'm stoked and ready to go. My guy Nomad's launching the show tonight. Do him a favor, show up, show out, give him some love and some subscriptions. And outside of that, thanks for showing up on a Friday. TGAF, bear down, claws out, Bishop.
Man, looky here. As always, this time was just a little past an hour, but we want to thank everybody that hung out with us today. I do appreciate it. Once again, we got a chance to chop it up. Love chopping it up with Nomad, my man Shawn the SuperBack, my man Kedz, Chris and Brian in the back, man. You know what? It's always wonderful when we get a chance to talk and chop it up, talk about Bears football. It is Friday, man. TGIF. I'm gonna be moving around this weekend and next week, so I will be coming to you by way of Texas, but won't be out of San Antonio. I'll announce where I'm at on Monday. But either way, I will be in sunshine, warm weather, loving it, but it's the weekend. I just want everybody to have a safe weekend, man. Just, love on your loved ones, enjoy each and everybody, your friends, your family, your loved ones. Prayers again to Brother James with regard to the loss of his dad, but more importantly, just make sure, man, you let your loved ones know, man, how much you care about them while they're here. Give them their roses while they are here. With that being said, I'm gonna pass it to Nomad. Everybody have a safe weekend.
Let me get and thank you guys for being here. Everybody that came and was a part of the show. Before I say what I got to say, man, I just want to encourage you guys. I'm not saying that you have to. It's up to you. Do what you want to do. But, just understand that don't take any of it personal when we do subscriber-only shows. We have to get the subscriptions up. When we do members-only content, it'll be exclusive content for those people who are willing to pay for exclusive content. Don't take that personal. What you can do, you can do. A subscription is free. I would just encourage you to go ahead and do it now so that you can maintain being a part of the community. You're not left out, outside of that door. So I would tell everybody, just go ahead and hit the sub. It don't cost you anything. So if you're a holdout and you've been watching shows and you haven't hit the sub button, there's going to be shows that you won't be able to participate in. And that's don't take it personal. It's just the way we have to do things. It's about going about business. Business is business, And don't forget tonight, man. Make sure you have the notification set for tonight, man. This evening we're gonna do the debut of Nomad TV, man. I've been really looking forward to it. I don't know exactly, so that's why I'm telling everybody to set their notifications so
Okay.
that it doesn't surprise anyone. And if you're looking for news, current events, entertainment, all the stuff that comes with all that, make sure you're gonna enjoy this show, because you'll get to see me in kind of rare form. You probably only know Nomad as this, ex-football player and passionate about Chicago Bears. You're gonna find out how many layers that I have to me. Just come in and enjoy the show, man. It's not for everybody, but if you don't like it, you don't have to watch those shows. But I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be different than what we've been doing on this podcast thus far, on this network rather. And so I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Set your notifications for it. Hit the subscribe so you're not left out in the cold, man. But before we got to get out of here, man, I got to leave you with these famous words. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Peace, y'all. Bear down.
Shy City, stand up. Yay, yay.
Boom.